Hi there, and welcome to Club Success, a Lions University course brought to you by the USA-Canada Lions Leadership Forum. My name is Past District Governor Wendy Kane, and even though the bottom of your screen may show Mark Miller, I will be your facilitator this evening and would like to remind you that we are recording this webinar for those who cannot participate with us live, or if you would like to go back and review the material at a later time, it will be available for you to do that. This evening there will be a couple of ways that you can engage and participate on our webinar. You can do this by typing a question in the questions pane, whether it be a question or a response to a topic of discussion, and I will relay that back for our faculty member. You can also raise your hand, and if you have your microphone set up, we will unmute you and call upon you to share verbally. So please plan to participate in those two ways with us. Club Success is a required course for the Lions University Bachelor's Program that's designed to help our Lions lead at the club level. The Bachelor's Program involves the completion of the 10 required courses that show up on the left side of the screen and at least 5 of the elective courses that are reflected on the right. To be able to have a snapshot of the courses that are either available to participate by webinar or to watch the videos from prior webinars, you can go to lionsuniversity.org and select the bachelor's program link at the top of the page, and there you will see links to all of the different courses with, as you can see, the notation of whether the course is scheduled or available. We have a similar listing for our master's courses, and in the future we'll have a similar listing for the doctorate courses. We did change around our system on the 1st of March, and so now the lionsuniversity.org website requires you to register an account with a username and password at lionsuniversity.org. This is not the same username and password that you have for your members.lionsforum.org, although it's your preference if you want to use the same, but having an account on the lionsforum.org website does not automatically translate to having an account on Lions University. You'll need this to be able to access the courses once they've been offered live, and also to take the quizzes. And the best part is you'll be able to track your progress real time. So the easiest way to do this is after either participating in the webinar or watching the video, select the Mark as Completed button that's at the bottom of the course page, and that will then advance you or make the quiz module available. That's usually available on the right screen. Some members have had to refresh their screen to be able to get access to that, but it is available after you press Mark as Completed. Once you take a quiz and pass the quiz with the 70% score, that part hasn't changed, you are able to see your progress for the courses that you've completed. And this is just a partial listing on the left side of the slide. Once you have completed either all 10 required courses or at least 5 bachelor's courses, or attended the first USA-Canada Lions Leadership Forum after 2013, you can select the appropriate unit from the applying for bachelor's program credit, and once we verify that information, then that will be added to your profile on the Lions Forum website. And I'll show that towards the end of the webinar. So now, instead of manually updating every single course completion, we'll update just these key areas of your program completion at the bachelor's, master's, and then doctorate levels. So let's dive into club success. It is really my pleasure to introduce to you our faculty for this topic, and that's past District Governor Marcia New Year. She is currently in Nevada, formerly from probably a couple of different places, most recently California before retiring to Nevada, and had the opportunity to get to know and work with past District Governor Marcia for several years, and it's always a pleasure. Those of you that might know both of us personally know that I'm kind of short and she's kind of tall, so it's probably not the best things when we end up side by side, but it is my pleasure to have her help share with us and Lions University some thoughts and objectives relative to club success. So with that, I am going to turn it over to you, Lion Marcia.
Thank you, Lion Wendy. Good morning, afternoon, evening, Lions, wherever you are. Just as with humans, there are no two Lions clubs anywhere that are the same. That's what makes our life so much fun, sometimes. With that in mind, my topic today is club success. To be a successful club takes more than one webinar, and what I'm about to tell you may seem obvious to some Lions that have been there and done that. Hopefully there will be some new ideas that you'll be able to use. For you new Lion members, congratulations on wanting to step up and help your club get with greater success by getting involved. I like to think of Lions clubs as a business. We are in the business of service. The president is the CEO and the VPs, etc. The person in the business that I would like you to use as an example is Walt Disney, the person that created the happiest place on earth. How did he create a business so large and still going so strong today? Well, he was a man that had a vision, set goals, listened, and honored his employees. People have been devoted to Disney for years. Even after he's no longer with us, he still lives on. One of my favorite quotes by Walt Disney, and sure holds true today, if you can dream it, you can do it. So how does this have anything to do with Lions? With our service, we are creating the happiest earth. In order to do this, we have to pursue club success. So the objectives to club success that I'll be discussing are leadership, membership, club meetings, projects and fundraisers, and goals. These are all very broad subjects, and there are webinars either through Lions University or LCI that cover them in detail, and them as go along. Now for leadership. Leadership is all about the club president. The more educated the president is, the better prepared he or she will be, even for those that have been president before. Education should never stop. There are so many classes available for education now, and if you're taking this webinar, you already know. Lions University has many wonderful webinars. LCI has webinars plus classes online. The faculty development from LCI, regional training, leadership training, and of course the very best is USA Canada forums. The club president must be able to maintain a positive attitude and credibility. They reconcile frustration and confusion and uncertainty. They know the value of compromise. There are no winners or losers. They are the first to reach out. They bring out the best in everyone. They bring harmony, all the varied interests of their members. The president always keeps an open communication with club members. A Lion leader clearly communicates procedures and areas of responsibility. They make sure accomplishments of the clubs are brought to the attention of the community. They know what needs to be done, how it is to be done, and who's going to do it. Delegation gives a balance between management and getting things done. They need to listen and give credit. A Lion president is always there to listen and most of all give credit. The president just can't do that enough. When presenting an award, pin, or even a big handshake, make sure the club is aware that what the presentation is about. Make sure pictures are taken. The president of my club was given 12 buttons to give to the Volunteer of the Month at her installation. This has been a big hit and well-deserved for all that have received them. Listening also takes in conflict, which also needs to be handled by the president. Please make sure all conflicts are handled behind closed doors and not at the club meeting. A president needs to have self-management. Lion leaders are course changers and pathfinders. They set goals and motivate their fellow Lions to reach them. Training your successor. It is very, very important to train your successor. Make sure your club has at least a first vice president and keep them always in the loop. This is not only important, but also secretary and treasurer. So many people end up being president, secretary, and treasurer for years just because no one else can take on the job or even want to. A leader's job is to look into the future of the club and see not as it is, as it should be. A good leader needs enthusiasm and passion. Henry Ford said, "Enthusiasm, with it there's accomplishment. Without it, there's only excuses." Set an example for others to follow. If the club president has done his job well, his fellow Lions can say, "We did it ourselves." And Lion Wendy, I'd like to hear from some of our people that are online. Do they have anything that they would like to ask or fill in with some leadership?
So Lion Marcia's highlighted a few key areas for leaders and in particular club presidents, but not exclusively. If you would like to share other key characteristics or comment on these elements that Lion Marcia has shared, you can either raise your hand or type a note in the questions pane, and I will be glad to relay that. I think the train your successor one is key, and I think we tend to look at leaders as being responsible for doing that, but if you're a committee member or if you have a certain role in your club that you don't want to do forever and that in order to help others develop, I think we always need to be looking for someone to replace us. So that's a really key point. Lion Roke shared in the questions pane, a good negotiator is a helpful characteristic for leaders.
Definitely.
Lion Dawn elaborated that sincerity and honesty really add to the credibility aspect that you mentioned. And it was last week or the week before our topic was diplomacy, and I think that was a good tie there as well. Lion John shared leading by example, and that's a great characteristic. Lion Leanne shared, with respect to the listen and give credit when and where it's due, is to don't take the credit for yourself. That's very important. Also train those that are interested because they might be your future leaders. That's a great point, Leanne. I think there's some things that I do as a Lion that I don't necessarily think others would be interested in, and so unless they're like flagging Lions down to want to do something different, sometimes all we have to do is ask and offer to get people involved rather than sit back and wait for them to want to take on something new or appear interested. So great point for sharing there.
I think getting involved is really an important thing. You know, getting someone else involved really has a lot to do with it.
Lion Roke shared another aspect is to be the first to get there and the last to leave.
Good point.
And Lion Dawn said to be a great cheerleader and let everyone know all the great things that we do as Lions. Lion Dave shared have empathy. So some great characteristics and aspects that I think play in well with the characteristics that you've identified, but also go beyond that. So great input, folks. Thank you. Ready to move on to the next one?
I had webinars to go along with leadership, and I understand that the leadership or club president 121 was canceled. Is that right, Wendy?
Oh, no, the club president course has already been offered. We did unfortunately have to cancel the course that's scheduled for next week, the zone chair roles and responsibilities, and that will be rescheduled.
Okay, okay. So the 121 was just completed then on the club president. So anybody that's looking for more info on club presidents can go to where you are, Lions University, and it's number 121 Club Presidents. Also, LCI has many different things on leadership, different webinars that you can take that have already been done. The next one that's coming due is you've been a club president, what's next? Well, I think that's kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but it's tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Daylight Savings Time, so if anybody's interested in that, if you've been president before, you might want to take a look in that. Our next point is membership, a very important one. In your memberships, your communication is one of the very top subjects that we need to discuss. Clubs need to keep everyone in the loop as to the action of the club, verbally by telephone or email, have a club newsletter and a website, or all of the above. Have a phone tree. Make sure everybody is coming to the meeting, and if someone is sick and might need some help, let the Lions know. Appoint a sunshine and public relations person. A sunshine person's job is to keep in touch with the club members, acknowledge milestones like birthdays and anniversaries. Public relations person should be willing to let the world know all the important work the club is doing. Making close friends of the local newspaper editor and the local radio station broadcaster is very important. Bring them cookies. They mend for you. They don't forget. Next thing is the image of club. A good image in a club not only makes the club members feel good, but also makes a good impression in the community where the club is serving. Think how you feel when you first walk into the gates of Disneyland. The energy, floral display, the anticipation, the parade, the employees are in great uniforms and having a good time, and they want you to have a good time. When you think of your meetings, do you get the same feeling as when you walk in? Ask yourself this: if you were a prospective member, would you join the club? A good attitude in a club for all the members. A negative attitude will keep the club growing. Our work as Lions is easy as long as it's fun. There's a club in California that always wore a no negative button, and I thought that was really great reminder. Clubs that have Lions Night Out can be real beneficial for bonding. Plan a night out for dinner that is somewhere other than your meeting place, or plan to go see a movie, play, or performance as a group. It can really be a nice bonding experience. A club in my district has game nights where they each take turns hosting the game. The game is up to the host. And this has been a good traditional and a real good bond for them. Member committee. Membership is everyone's responsibility, and in most clubs this is one person's job, membership chair. But it's a much more important job than most people realize or want to admit. The job should entail not only finding new members, but keeping the current members. There should be an orientation for current and new members. This job should be handled by a committee if at all possible. New members should have a mentor, and all new members should have a job. There's 4 items that are a real must, as I feel anyway, that for a membership committee, and that's to create a club brochure. You have something to be able to hand to people when you're talking about your club. And if that, along with a business card, just create a business card that's like an invitation to the meeting where you can, each member can have their name on it and hand it to that person, inviting them to the club that has all the club information on it. It's a great tool. Create a new member handbook. Always have membership applications on hand. This is one of the things that we all fail on. If your club has not done the CEP, the Club Excellence Process Training, please ask your district global membership chair to do this. Having an officer that is not part of the club to do CEP training can be a real asset. Even your best clubs can have little problems that can be worked out. Make sure that at least one member attends district functions. There's a lot to learn at these meetings from members from other clubs. I've learned as much during meal breaks from Lions from other clubs and districts than I have from seminars I've attended. Now, each membership should have goals. This gives the membership something to work for. Have a membership contest. Our club has done that before, and that was a lot of fun. Have at least one open house or friendship dinner a year. Make sure all members will invite somebody. Send out actual invitations. This really works. This really works. People need to try it. No matter how great or how large your club is at the present, if the membership is not maintained, the empire could fall. A friend was telling me about his club, 23 members, 8 of which comes to the meeting. And he is the president, the treasurer, and the secretary. And with that, my comment is, Lions Club don't die, they just commit suicide. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Anything they would like to talk about here at this time?
This is another opportunity to comment in the questions pane or raise your hand, and I would like to take a moment to reinforce the attending district functions. But as a club member or a club leader, I would encourage you to attend district functions and try to take others with you. I think my Lions Club has fallen into the trap of, oh, Lion Wendy is going to go, so we don't need to. And what I've noticed most recently is I've not been able to attend the last couple of zone meetings that were scheduled for my zone, and other members have attended, and they've come back with all these great ideas that I could have told them about and have actually brought up in the past. But when they hear it themselves from other clubs, it makes a world of difference. And I thank you, Lion Winster, for confirming that I'm not the only one that experiences that. So I'm going to try a new tact, and when I go to those events, identify a member of my club to specifically ask to go with me. Lion Dave shared that a former member night works real well as far as identifying people who have left the club for various reasons and kind of refreshing them and bringing them back familiar with the efforts of the club. So that's a great idea that we don't think of very often.
Good idea. Yes.
Lion Dawn shared that they just held a very successful soup social, similar to, I think, your membership open house or friendship dinner, and they've netted at least 4 new members. Could be up to 7. So it's the social is in fun.
I tell you, they work.
Is great for both the current and potential new members. So good positive feedback from multiple fronts there to learn more about that approach and perhaps try it with your club. Lion Leanne shared that I always ask anyone I'm speaking with to become a lion, and her motto is ask one, what are they going to say? No? Okay, on to the next one. She doesn't let it bother her, and she said you'll be amazed at the yeses you'll receive. So great feedback there. Lion Barb shared from a membership, standpoint, to get new members to the zone advisory meetings in order to meet other lions in the area. And I think new members, that they may be ripe for that, because the older members, if they keep hearing about zone meetings over the course of the years and just haven't gone, then all of a sudden it's kind of a shift in their approach as lions after several years to go. Let's see, got a couple others that I'll read, and if you'd like to comment, you can do that, Lion Marcia. So Lion Bud shares, my experience over the years is that clubs with signature projects and or actual annual membership goals typically have successful membership results. And you had reinforced having goals, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment as well. Lion John shared the easiest way to get a new member is to ask. It's awful tempting to respond or assume we know what the response is going to be without asking. Lion Winster.
Well, that's why when asking if you have a business card to hand them at the same time, sometimes that reminds them, and also giving a call to them if they seem interested, giving them a call before the meeting and asking to pick them up, take them to the meeting.
Yep. Lion Winster shared that clubs need to be open-minded, especially when looking for younger members. Lion Susan shared, to expand the membership, it may mean redefining when and where meetings will be held, and that could especially be true in recruiting younger members. Are you familiar with, have you had that experience, Lion Marshall, with clubs changing meeting days or times from a time that they've had scheduled and has been a kind of a tradition?
Some of the most successful clubs have actually branched off, where they have two different meetings, or they'll have they'll have two meetings a month, but they'll have one meeting one place or at one time, or in the other meeting at another place at another time. So everybody has a chance to at least make one of those meetings a month.
So okay, Lion Rick shares something, and he kind of put it in here, I think, as a joke, but it's a really good point that when we're asking someone to become a member, he put LOL. But I think this is good, is that, if someone says no, we should ask them whether that's no right now or no forever. Because, people's situations change, and if they say, check back with me in 6 months, I'd put it on the calendar.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Let's see, Lion Lisa, we've got a few more responses, and then we can go on. So thank you all for sharing some additional input. Lion Lisa shared, I think it's important to invite new Lions to zone or district events, and I feel that newer Lions often feel that the bigger meetings are for the higher ups in the district, and so it's a good learning experience and someplace that they can get value. Lion Becky shared...
The district should also acknowledge that, too. I'm sorry, Lion Wendy.
That's okay.
The district should acknowledge the new people that that are at the meeting. That's really important.
That's a great idea, kind of like a first-timers type of thing.
Yes, first-timers. Right.
For several years, we held new member orientation as one of the seminars at our district convention, and so that was particularly a reason to drive having new members attend, to be able to not only get the orientation but get it with newer members from other clubs. So that could help with that as well. Let's see, I lost my spot. Lion Becky shared to have the new member help with an event before they joined. Great way to help them see what Lions are about and what we do. Lion Barb shared that they have new members who are shift workers, so they do a breakfast meeting about every third month. So that's a great way to be able to meet your club demographic and needs. Let's see, Lion Dawn shared instead of a membership table for people to walk by at their recent pancake breakfast, where they served over 450 people, they placed plastic holders with club contact information at every table where it was more visible. Great idea. 450 people for breakfast. Lion Nancy also shared...
Were they busy?
Yeah, no kidding. Lion Nancy also shared inviting prospective members to join a Lions project and come work. Lion Dave indicated a commuter bedroom community switched their club meetings from evenings to a Saturday morning breakfast. So great idea. We don't think we have any Saturday breakfast or Saturday clubs in Tennessee. Lion Betty shared that she is in the airport right now, and the lady next to her asked about her Lions pin that she was wearing, so she gave her her card for more information. So wow, Lion Betty gets the
star of the day
for dedication in member recruiting.
I love it.
Let's see, a couple others about inviting members to participate. Lion Judy mentioned, and I've seen this as well, having a member induction at their most recent cabinet meeting. I think that serves as a great reminder of that one, new members are interested in coming to those events, but also reminding all of us to ask and then have a meaningful induction for our members. So lots of good input from folks. So thank you all for some other insights and suggestions with respect to membership. All right.
Okay, regarding memberships, I wanted to give you the webinars that were coming up, and some of them are a little distance away. Like the one I really want to bring up is from Lions University Bachelor's. It's number 107, Building Club Memberships. It's Tuesday, July 28th, which is a little way away, but it's the beginning of the year, the Lions year. But the trainer is PDG Gary Wong, and he is super. You don't want to miss it, so sign up for it. LCI membership sessions, they have 27 webinars that are completed on membership. Okay, so you can find almost anything and everything in there you possibly want. The next one coming up is April 30th at 10 a.m. Central Daylight Savings Time, and it's called Be Part of Our Celebration, the Centennial Membership Awards. So you want to hear going on about that too. That looked really pretty good. Okay, the next point is club meetings. Club meetings need to maintain good structure. Always have an agenda and follow it. Stick to the time so it doesn't run over. Make your club meetings interesting and fun. In corporate businesses, the officers will hold meetings and then go to the employees and let them know what they discussed. This should be the same with Lions business. Try to keep business to a minimum during the general meetings. Have quick committee reports so the members are aware of their progress, but not to take over the meetings. 1 minute of Lionism at every meeting. It's a really important one. Such as 1 minute about Melvin Jones, about the history of Lions, about our mission. Loads of information to share if you go on LCI's webpage. Find informative speakers. There are really great speakers everywhere. You just have to kind of look and ask. I visited out in the desert, I visited a club, and the gentleman that was speaking was a young guy, and he had an Indian artifacts store, and I figured that's probably what we were going to be hearing about. Well, no, he belonged to a metal detector group that was a big club, and they went out every month and went hunting for treasures, and he shared some of the treasures with us, and every month they would meet and they would get prizes for the best treasure that they would find. It was really fun. So you never know where you're going to find these people. Please avoid people, however, that are trying to sell something to your club, because you'll not only lose probably dollars, but also members by doing that. Hold impressive induction ceremonies. You want your new members to feel welcome, and the club is there with open arms and helpful hand to greet them. Have an officer from outside the club, such as a district officer, do the ceremony. Make your new members feel that they are very important to your club. I always feel it's real important for our club members to greet the new members after the induction too. It kind of gives the bond. And there's nothing better than a good tail twister to pull the club together and have a lot of fun. Someone who can think, what would Disney do? Be creative and fun. Send your tail twister to USA Canada Forum. There's usually someone doing a great seminar on tail twisting, and it's usually sold out by the time you get there. Make sure you get signed in for it if you're going. Some great ideas from the internet or talk to the local Scoutmasters. Scoutmasters have a lot of great fun games. Have a secret greeter. Happy Bucks, birthday special occasion. Lion members in the news. You join their tail twister. You'll give them a happy buck, and you talk about what you want to talk about. The tail twister can come up with some games and trivia words. We had a really great tail twister in my first club that I belonged to, Miss Vicky. She always came up one meeting a month, and she would do a different theme, like mismatch night, hat night. Plaid night was really interesting, but the best one of all was that she came up with. She had broken her arm, and so she had everybody bandage and appendage night. And the fun thing about that is that we had a club make a visitation. We didn't know they were coming, and they thought we were all in an accident. The club I belong to now, we roll dice. At the very end, if people have some grand news and want to share, they pay to do so. So they pay $1 to roll the dice. If the dice comes up 7 or 11, then all the members have to come up with $1. That only happens once an evening, however. The big warning on tail twisters is do not interrupt the meeting. Always have a greeter. If at all possible, make it a different lion at every meeting. This gives all members a chance to meet and greet before the meeting. Try to have people sit with different people at every meeting, and I know that's sometimes very difficult to do. But here, absolutely no cliques. A club's membership should be able to work as a team and act like a family. Cliques just create gossip and hard feelings. I bet I have some conversation that might go along with that from our participants.
Yes, indeed, and I will give a shout out. We already had a Lions University course on tail twisting that past District Governor Dave Durant did, and he is online with us this evening. So he had a lot of creative ideas for just everyday lions, as well as if you know someone that's going to be taking on or already has the tail twister role in your clubs. I would encourage you to have them refer back to that webinar. And thank you again, past District Governor Dave, for some really innovative ideas and activities and cautions, much like yours, about their role in the meeting for how to do that. We also had a detailed webinar on running effective club meetings. So would like to open up for either comments or to raise your hand. Nobody's that I've seen has raised their hands to share verbally. We'd like to hear your voice if you'd like to share it with us. Other just key aspects of helping to have good club meetings. And Lion Nancy shared that the greeter is a good job for the new lion, for a new Lions member, to be able to meet the other members of the club. So thank you for sharing that. This is a good opportunity if there are things that maybe you don't like about how your club functions. Put a little star at the beginning of your typing, and I won't attribute it to any name in particular, but we'll share the thing, because this is an opportunity for all of us to learn. So we certainly want to learn from successes, but if there's something frustrating that's happening that we can learn from as we lead our club, then I'd like to share that as well. Lion Becky shared that she is doing an April Fool's bag at the meeting this month as their club tail twister. So best wishes with that, Lion Becky. Lion Dawn shared that she has experienced in clubs that she was not welcome because she was not part of their clique. So I guess that is as a club visitor, and that's, or other types of clubs. I can't quite tell from that, but the point is that it wasn't good because it caused her to drop out, and whether that's Lions or another club, in this case she chose to go to another club rather than drop the organization altogether, but it certainly could cause new members to leave permanently, so we do need to be careful and avoid cliques. With a please, so thank you, Dawn, for sharing that. Let's see. Wait a minute, I'm not sure. I think that may have been from Leanne. I'm sorry. Lion Dawn shared that variety is key, and it's not one style of meeting that pleases everyone. So sorry, I had where one stopped and the other one started, I had a little bit of a blur there. Lion Dave shared that we should work to a timed agenda to keep meetings moving, interesting, and over on time. So that's important for all of us. So, and agendas were a key part of of both the President's Seminar and the Effective Club meetings. Oh, here's good advice if you're responsible for your club program. Lion Susan advised to be sure speakers know how long they will have to speak before they come to the meeting. I think many of us have experienced speakers who weren't quite sure of those guidelines.
Yes. Yes.
And Lion Rick shared that their club uses the newest lion along with a longtime lion as the greeter, and that allows them to impose the first fines of the evening. Here's one item that, let's see, the club has a person that bullies everyone, and then there are members who just don't show up rather than fight with this person. So consequently, it looks like this person says the club is dying due to attrition from old age and bullying. So I thought that was interesting, the phrase where you had mentioned Lions clubs don't die, they commit suicide. And so unfortunately that wasn't from not having new members come in, but from how one or more influential in not a good way members affect. So there, we have a couple resources from that standpoint. The conflict resolution, the diplomacy course, also I think are good resources to advise as leaders. We need to try to do what we can to look out for our club members, right? So that's certainly one of the challenges and one of the less glamorous parts of being a leader, but that's where people know that you're really serious about taking on a leadership role as well. And let's see, one other one. I don't see any hands raised. Lion Gary shared from a club meeting perspective, make sure that you know what the program is going to be out. They had a presentation by the Salvation Army that was not what they expected. So getting a little bit of background from the speakers. I know we've had a few speakers where they can talk on multiple topics, and the person that coordinated it just gave them free rein, and I'm not sure that always worked out the best either. So great feedback for club programs and our meetings.
Yeah, this is where the president kind of needs to step up and and work on that.
Yep. And then maybe to bring it home before we move on to the next topic, Lion AJ shared a good lesson to have a presentation or presentations ready in case the planned program falls through. We've had that happen on occasion, and it's been we've used it to serve as a working meeting, but I think it could have been a little bit better value for the members had we had or someone had a presentation ready to share information on a particular topic. So thank you all again for sharing on club meetings. And Marcia, you ready to move on to the next one?
Yes.
All
Projects
right.
and fundraisers. All right. Be prepared. Brainstorm at the first of the Lions year and set a schedule. Have a club retreat. That always works out really well, and most clubs don't do that. It really works well. Get away for the day and plan. Begin a new club project every year. Get the new members involved. Use their ideas and suggest they chair the event. Replace a project that hasn't been working or add a new one to your Lions list. Now, Centennial Service Challenge. International would like to have served 100 million people by the Lions Centennial Year of 2017. So they have asked each club to do at least 4 areas of service each year. If clubs would just follow the lead, it is so simple and gives you such a guide for your club. A suggestion: create a different service for each quarter of your Lions year. The 4 service projects are Vision. Now Vision, most clubs collect eyeglasses, have the ability to do vision screening, sponsor a guide dog, or buy a pair of glasses for needy people. The next one is Youth. Lions Club can set up Leo's clubs, get the youth going. They give a read to a class for Read Across America, or present Flag Day to the school class. Feeding the Hungry. Help at a soup kitchen, Christmas or Thanksgiving baskets, or sponsor a family in need. Environment. Plant trees, clean park, or sponsor a section of highway, or start community garden. This would help feed the hungry also. Now those are 4 simple things, and there's so many projects out there that clubs can come up with, and they can all fit in somewhere along that way. And this also fills in for your service needs for LCI. And LCI has suggestions on their website for each of these different projects that would help plan your projects. All you have to do is go to Lions 100 and click on the toolbox, and they've got a full page on each of those that can give you suggestions. And all your club has to do is plan on what you're going to do. Regarding fundraisers, it is important to have a fundraiser chairperson, a treasurer, and then committee. So many fundraisers are headed out by one person, and that one person ends up doing everything, and then somehow it doesn't always pan out. The chairperson should be willing to delegate, keep tabs on the process, and make sure everyone has completed their tasks. All fundraisers that entail the public, we all know the proceeds needs to go to the charity account and cannot be used for the admin account. To boost your admin account, however, as a suggestion, having an in-house auction can be a lot of fun. We've done this for many years in our one club, and it was just really great fun. Members bring goods and services to designated meeting, and the auctioneer, whoever the auctioneer is, determines if the items are silent bids, or he/she will auction the higher end items also. Since the money is all from the Lions, it can be used for your administrative account. Now, I'm not going to go too much into fundraisers because they have to come to a USA Canada forum and see the session on fundraising. Won't tell you any more about that, but I would like to hear from them.
All right.
Does anybody
we just
have any suggestions?
There are a lot of great service project and fundraising project ideas out there. For the sake of time, what I would like to do is reinforce that if you're participating in the Centennial Service Challenge, please have your secretary record that on the MyLCI website so that we can track the progress toward meeting that 100 million served goal. Let's see, I think Lion AJ had a suggestion that I'd like to hear a little bit more about, so I'm going to unmute him in a moment. For him,
Lion Wendy, that they have 20 million.
We're right at 20 million so far, so we're making great progress. So Lion AJ would like to share how.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. 20 million we've got.
How a club might break larger projects into smaller pieces so that each member can have a piece. And so, Lion AJ, I'm going to unmute you to share a little bit about that as it gets to our member involvement as well. You're unmuted, AJ.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry about that. I was going to talk about a club in our district, the Tri-Village Lions. Basically, they're on their way to almost 100 members in their club. And what they've done is if new members come in and they want to work on a project, you know, there may not be, you know, a whole bunch of people that want to go with that project, but the people that do are able to run with it. There are some of the members that are older that aren't able to do like the white cane or the Braille card sales or, you know, flip pancakes during the pancake breakfast, but they can help out with other pieces of the project, such as their book fairs and their vision screenings. And, you know, that way each person in the club can do what they can, and, you know, it helps break the whole project up so that not one person is, you know, trying to do it all or, you know, feel like they're doing it all. They can do it and not rest on any of their laurels and be able to, you know, be able to do what they need for their communities. I was trying to be brief.
Thank you.
This is another good reason to brainstorm at the first of the Lions year, because at that point you can figure out what you're going to do project-wise and also who's going to do it.
So I might prompt you, Lion AJ, if you would mind sharing maybe a little bit more detail on the forum, the discussion forum website. We'll get a plug-in for it there, and that way other folks, if they have any questions, maybe we'll have an opportunity to elaborate further. But thank you for sharing that with us. Lion Dawn shared, and you referenced, Lion Marcia, the club excellence process, and Dawn shared the community needs survey or community needs assessment that her club did, and where they got some great ideas that they otherwise wouldn't have thought of on their own for service projects in their community. So,
yeah, it's a great idea.
Yes, indeed. So, all right, thank you.
Okay, are we on to goals and retreats?
Yes.
Aha, okay. Goals being one of my big weaknesses, I turned to the book I like written by Gary Ryan Blair called, of all things, Goals. He has 10 very wonderful rules to accomplish goals, and I'm sure he used them to write this book. Number 1, be decisive. Indecision is the biggest eraser of opportunity and potential. Number 2, stay focused. Focus is the glue that holds the goal in place. Without focus, you lose your way. Enthusiasm disappears. Goals become faded aspirations. Number 3, write your goals. Written goals are catalysts, transforming agents for success and achievement. Goals not written become out of sight, out of mind. 6 important goal-setting questions. Who, what, where, when, how, and why? Who will be involved in achieving this goal? What is the goal? What to accomplish? Where are you now in relationship to this goal? When do you expect to achieve this goal? How will you accomplish this goal? And why do you want to achieve this goal? Number 4 is plan thoroughly. Planning allows you to carefully orchestrate all steps along the way to achieve your goal. It coordinates efforts, it prepares the planner, it reveals roadblocks, and it stimulates thinking. Number 5, involve others. History repeats itself. With the use of the internet and all resources, there are teachers everywhere. It is your responsibility to acquire useful knowledge from others and apply it. Welcome failure, the dreaded F word. Failure has ulterior motive, not to quit, but to stop you long enough so you may learn something, re-strategize, relaunch, and again more prepared. Take purposeful action. The odds that you will succeed without action are about the same as winning the lottery without buying a ticket. When you set a goal, there is a distance between the now reality and the desired reality. Procrastination increases the distance and minimizes the chance of achievement. Number 8, inspect what you expect. Change knocks the wind out of all good plans. Unless performance is reviewed regularly, growth becomes stunted. Reward yourself and others. Goals are generators of value, often because of what you've learned. Rewards continue to inspire long after specific accomplishments fade from memory. Number 10, maintain integrity. Your biggest concern is not your skill, ability, or your intelligence, it's your commitment. And as far as a webinar, Lions Universities and the Masters has a number 209, which you'll have to take after you finish your bachelor's, of course. Strategic planning beyond goal and action plans.
So Lion Marcia,
Is there anybody that would like to add to that?
Just one clarification. We allow Lions to take courses at any time that they wish or at any point that works for them. So I don't recall right now when strategic planning may be scheduled, but Lions can certainly take that at any point.
It's not scheduled yet, but it's
okay.
on. It's on. Yeah.
So that will probably
yeah, it's written in. It's just not. It doesn't have a date yet.
Okay. And what I was thinking, first I wanted to acknowledge Becky shared that her club is trying 4 new projects for the incoming or new Lions year beginning in 2016, and that they all have a theme associated for the centennial year. So great idea, great sharing and
that's great
for others. Past International Director Bud is online with us, and he confirmed that strategic planning is scheduled for August 18th. So thank you, Lion Bud. And what I'd like to do with just a few minutes left, we always hear about SMART goals, and I was really taken by these 10 rules when I saw the material that you had prepared. And I'd like to just take a moment and ask folks if you would type in the questions pane, which of the 10 of those is your biggest challenge or stumbling block? Because as Lions University, we're here to help you be successful, and that may help us see where we can help our clubs be more successful by knowing where we struggle. And with that, we had one question wanting, Lion Marcia, your opinion on having a written goal board or one of those like a vision board. What do you think about something like that from a club perspective or individual perspective for goals?
Well, number 3 says write your goals. I think that's one of the big downfalls that I know it's one of mine. I say, oh, I'm going to do something, but you don't write it. If you write, even personally, if you write your goals yourself for you, you've got a win-win situation there, I think, and having a board, that's wonderful. I like that idea.
Great idea. So I'm not going to share who responded to what with respect to which one is the biggest challenge. I'll toss out that from my standpoint, I think welcoming failure is the toughest socially because schools aren't brought up to help you fail. and learn how to fail and improve from that. So so personally, I think that's one that I struggle with probably more than others, although at varying degrees. And so I would just as we get close to the end of the hour, if you would jot down those challenges, I think that might just help give us perspective for how we can help further the needs of our Lions leaders to develop and to grow, because those are some really great characteristics and really rules for goal setting that go beyond what I've seen in the standard goal setting curriculum. So
I had not found anything particularly other than this 209 strategic planning. The only time I found anything with goals other than my little book that I live by was when I was governor. We had to take a goal training for being district governor, but as far as that, things to help people do goals are just not out there because people don't want to do them.
Yeah, we've gotten quite a few responses about writing goals, and I think the other one that kind of fits along with that is involving others and when and how to do that. And I think thinking back to my district governor-elect training, one of the things that I noted over the years is that our district governors set goals and they often do it in a vacuum, and I think that's evolved as the training for district governor-elects has changed over time, and certainly getting others involved and kind of owning that commitment and that goal with you should help facilitate the realization of the goals rather than it being an individual goal being more of something that's important to a group of leaders that are serving Lionism. And Lion Nancy shared that the goal setting is a part of the CEP. It's also part of several of the leadership institutes that LCI or our regional institutes. So so thank you all for that. And as we get close, I'd say let's look at your kind of messages to leave us with.
The review of the objectives. All Lion clubs are unique. Now that's nothing new. We all know that, but we need to deal with that. So Lion leaders need to be prepared and want to take on the position. Have a plan. Members need to set goals, communicate, and work together as a team. Most of all, be energetic, be positive, and have fun. Membership should be the responsibility of the whole club. And that one, I think members need we need to let all the members constantly know that they need to help bring in new members, because if without it, our clubs, of course, die. Club meetings need to keep business to a minimum and have fun. There's that word again, fun. Lions clubs need to have at least 4 projects and need to be able to create the money to carry these projects with good fundraisers. Set goals and don't let them fade away. That's all I have. I want to thank all of you for attending this seminar and congratulate you on pursuing more education, ensuring that Lions clubs will have more qualified leaders in the future. Don't be afraid to step up when asked. And I want to thank Wendy Kane for all of her role in making this seminar happen. And don't forget, we'll see you all in the USA-Canada Forum September 17th through 19th in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Lion Marcia is advertising. Thank you so much. We're going to see most of these folks before that on future webinars.
I got it in, and you couldn't stop me.
I know it, but we do certainly look forward to seeing many of you live and in person at the forum if you're able to be there, or perhaps in Hawaii. I see a few folks referencing Honolulu. So just as we wrap up, I would like to remind you about the members.lionsforum.org website. And so, as I mentioned at the beginning, we will be tracking just your key elements of the program completion here. So when you log into your members area, we have not deleted the courses that are showing as being reflected as completed prior to March 1st when we started using the new system. So you can see we've kept those. Our primary updating, or sections for updating, are now just tied to the key required courses, bachelor's courses, and the required experience at the bachelor's, master's, and doctorate level programs. So that cuts back on our manual updates, and this is where you will see or be able to track the completion, where we will monitor so that we'll be able to recognize you for completing the bachelor's program and then ultimately the master's and then doctorate programs if you choose to complete the program versus just taking individual courses of interest. I mentioned earlier the discussion board that's at lionsforum.org. You can, from lionsforum.org, just select the discussion boards. There will be a specific discussion board for club success, and I will cut and paste a lot of the ideas and input that you've shared in the questions pane here so that that can serve as a resource for you in helping improve and continue your club operations and your club success as you lead within your club. Our next webinar, unfortunately I did mention earlier, we did have to cancel or postpone, I should say, our webinar that was scheduled for next Tuesday, April 7th. So the next webinar will be the Lions Club Structure. That's a required bachelor's program course that will be on April 14th. So you can go to the lionsuniversity.org website and register from there. And we hope you will join us there or for other upcoming webinars. And don't forget to receive credit, and to capture that credit, you can either register or log in to lionsuniversity.org and take the quiz. So again, thank you all very much for your participation and engagement with us this evening. Thank you so much, Past District Governor Marcia, for sharing your information and experience and everything else with our Lions. Just glad to have you as a part of Lions University and contributing to the success of our Lions clubs throughout North America. So thank you again. Hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks so much.